All right. Let's dive into Mooniswap today.
Okay.
If you're into DeFi, even a little, I'm sure you've heard of Mooniswap.
Definitely.
It's had some buzz, right? This platform is promising us, the liquidity providers, better returns, bigger slice of the pie,
Yeah.
like 50 to 200% higher returns
Yeah.
compared to Uniswap V2.
Yeah.
That's their claim anyway.
Right.
And we're going to unpack today how they're going to pull that off.
Exactly. Yeah.
How Mooniswap is outsmarting those arbitrage bots, at least that's the goal.
Yeah, for sure. The DeFi space in general, there's a ton of automated market makers. AMMs,
Right.
Uniswap, Balancer, these are the ones that everybody knows, big players.
Yeah, those are the big names, even for DeFi newbies.
Exactly.
You hear those all the time.
For sure.
And we all kind of get the basic idea of AMMs provide liquidity to a pool, you earn fees on trades.
Yeah.
But how is Mooniswap different? What are they doing?
So Mooniswap, the real sort of special sauce of it, is how it's handling arbitrage.
Okay.
You see, traditional AMMs are very vulnerable to arbitrage traders who are exploiting the price differences between platforms. And these arbitrage trades, they actually reduce the profits for us, the liquidity providers.
So they're like swooping in these arbitrageurs and like snatching away our hard-earned fees.
Exactly. That's a great way to put it.
That doesn't seem very decentralized or fair.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's where Mooniswap steps in.
Okay.
They have this thing called virtual balances.
Virtual balances.
Yes.
Okay.
Basically, think of it like a time delay for price adjustments.
Yeah.
So instead of the price changing instantly with every trade,
Right.
Mooniswap introduces this gradual adjustment period.
So instead of it swinging like a hammock in a hurricane,
Yeah.
it's more like a gentle slope.
Yes. A very good way to put it. That's exactly right. It makes it much harder for arbitrageurs to profit from those sudden price discrepancies.
Okay, that makes sense. But how does that actually benefit, the liquidity providers like ourselves?
So because those price changes are happening more slowly, a larger portion of the profit from each trade is going to the liquidity providers instead of it being siphoned off by these arbitrage bots.
Interesting.
So it's kind of leveling the playing field and giving us a fighting chance to actually earn our fair share.
I like the sound of that.
Yeah.
So walk me through this virtual balance system.
Yeah.
How does it actually play out?
Yeah, sure. So imagine a large trade comes through, buys a significant chunk of one token in the pool.
Okay.
Now, with the traditional AMM, the price would instantly jump up, creating this arbitrage opportunity.
And those bots would be all over it.
Exactly.
Like sharks to chum.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But with these virtual balances, the price adjusts more gradually. And the Mooniswap paper actually includes this really helpful visual chart to illustrate this.
Okay.
So think of it like a graph representing the liquidity pool.
Right.
And on the axis, you've got the balances of the two different tokens.
So we're picturing like a graceful arc, kind of.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
Okay.
So when that large trade happens, instead of that arc instantly shifting, it kind of starts to tilt gradually in response to the trade.
Tilt, like one of those slow motion tower collapses.
Yeah.
And while that tilt is happening, smaller trades can still occur, taking advantage of the gradually adjusting price, and those actually help to rebalance the pool more efficiently.
So it's almost like those smaller trades are like sneaking in under the radar while the big trade is still in progress.
Exactly.
Interesting.
And because that price change is happening gradually, that arbitrage opportunity is greatly reduced.
Got it.
And the profits are distributed more fairly amongst the liquidity providers.
So by introducing this delay
Yeah.
and kind of smoothing out the price adjustments, they're really squeezing out those arbitrage opportunities, which is great for us.
Exactly.
Perfect.
Yeah, and that's just one piece of it.
Now there's more.
There's more. This virtual balance system, that's just the tip of the iceberg.
Mooniswap has other features designed to attract users and benefit providers even more.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Spill the beans. What else they got?
Well, for one, they've got a built-in referral program.
Ooh, referral programs. I love those.
Yeah.
Always a good bonus. How does it work?
Yeah, so it incentivizes growth
Okay.
by rewarding users who bring in new traders to the platform.
Right.
More users, more trading volume,
Right.
more fees generated for the liquidity pools.
Right, so it's a win-win.
Exactly.
More users benefit, we benefit.
Exactly.
What else?
Another key feature, their integrated price oracle.
Okay, now for those of us who don't speak fluent DeFi, what exactly is a price oracle?
Sure. So basically, a price oracle is a reliable source of truth
Okay.
for the current market price of a cryptocurrency.
Got it.
So Mooniswap, they have their own built-in oracle.
Okay. And it's designed to be resistant to manipulation.
So it's like a trusted referee,
Exactly.
making sure everything is on the up and up.
That's a great way to put it.
Okay, it sounds like they've gone the extra mile here, creating this platform
Yeah.
that benefits providers.
Yeah.
But I gotta ask, if it's so revolutionary, why hasn't every AMM adopted these features?
Yeah.
What's the catch? Why isn't everybody else doing this?
Well, there's a few potential reasons, actually.
Right.
One is just the complexity
Okay.
involved in integrating virtual balances
Right.
into an existing AMM.
Right.
It's not a simple task,
Yeah.
and it requires some serious technical know-how.
It's like teaching an old dog new tricks. Sometimes it's just easier to stick with what you know. It's a great comparison, yeah. And then there's also just the issue of adoption.
Okay.
Any DeFi platform
Right.
needs a critical mass of users to be successful.
You got to get people on board.
Exactly. Traders and liquidity providers. For sure.
Yeah.
If one platform decides to go all in on virtual balances and others stick with more traditional models,
Right.
it could create fragmentation in the market.
It's a chicken and egg thing, right?
Okay.
Like they're hesitant to fully embrace this new technology until they see the users, but the users aren't going to come until it's
Yeah, it's a tough situation.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So the jury's still out on whether it can consistently deliver
Right.
on this promise of higher returns.
Listen, remember those figures we mentioned earlier? The 50 to 200% potential increase in returns compared to Uniswap v2.
Right, right,
It's important to remember those figures are based on backtesting.
right. Backtesting, so we're not talking about real-world data yet.
Exactly.
This is like if we invested in Amazon back in 1994,
Exactly.
it's like, yeah,
Well,
okay.
hypothetical.
It's all hypothetical.
Yeah.
So the real test is how does it perform in the wild?
Exactly.
With all of its complexities and unpredictability.
It's a great way to put it, yeah.
What other factors could be at play here?
Well, one important factor is competition.
Okay.
The DeFi space is incredibly competitive.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah,
It's like a jungle out there.
it is, absolutely.
Everyone's fighting for their piece.
To stay ahead of the curve, Mooniswap will need to continuously innovate and adapt.
So they can't rest on their laurels, even with this really cool virtual balance system.
Exactly.
They got to keep pushing.
And that's part of what makes DeFi so exciting.
Right. You never know what's going to happen next.
It's like a mystery.
Exactly.
A lot of developments happening really quickly.
And speaking of developments, are there any other features or developments on the horizon that you've got your eye on?
Well, one interesting development is Mooniswap's move towards greater interoperability.
Okay. Now, there's a buzzword we hear a lot. What does interoperability mean in this context?
So in simple terms, it just means the ability for different blockchain platforms to communicate
Right.
and to work together seamlessly.
Okay, so kind of like building bridges between different DeFi ecosystems.
Exactly. That's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
And for a platform like Mooniswap,
Which wants to be a major player.
sure.
In this AMM space, this is really important.
Gotcha.
It allows them to tap into a wider user base,
Okay.
more liquidity, which is,
Right.
essential for long-term growth.
It makes sense. The more connected you are, the more opportunity.
Exactly.
Yeah, for sure.
We see it time and time again,
Yeah.
right? Those who would adapt,
Yeah.
those who innovate, those who collaborate,
Right.
they're the ones that really succeed.
It really is a team effort,
It is.
even in the decentralized world.
Absolutely.
So as we wrap up our deep dive on Mooniswap,
Okay.
what's the key takeaway?
Sure.
What should people be thinking about when they're navigating DeFi?
I think the most important thing to remember is that DeFi is still so new.
Right.
We're very early.
It's a rapidly evolving space.
That's right.
Huge potential,
Oh, yeah.
but also inherent risks.
It's like the Wild West out there.
Yeah, exactly.
It's exciting, but you got to, be careful.
Exactly. So, do your research.
Right.
Understand the technology.
Right.
Don't invest more than you can afford to lose.
DYOR, do your own research.
Exactly.
Should be everyone's mantra.
100%.
Mooniswap, definitely an interesting approach to all this.
It is.
They're virtual balances, trying to make things more equitable and transparent.
Yeah, for sure.
I like it.
Yeah, it's really interesting to see how this will all play out.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been great having you on. Really appreciate it.
It's been a pleasure, as always.
And to our listeners, thanks for joining us on this deep dive into Mooniswap. Until next time.